Local 4 News starts now with a breaking news alert.
Could this be toxic green ooze round 2? We'll tell you why investigators are very concerned about what they discovered inside this Detroit building today.
All right, Hank, we'll get to you in a moment. We're going to begin, though, at 6 with the storm that has all of southeast Michigan bracing for trouble in the form of ice or floodwaters or a mixture of both. We expect a lot of rain in the next few days, but the biggest question right now, what form will it take?
Right, and Ben's been tracking all the different scenarios and joins us with his updated forecast. Ben.
Yeah, guys, that is the big question. How much ice is this system going to produce? There's going to be a ton of moisture, and you can see it closing in on us down here to the south, and all of those colors starting to change. Northern parts of Missouri, southern Iowa, all coming in here tonight. But in the meantime, even though we don't have any rain out there right now, we've got some pretty dense fog down below a quarter-mile visibility at times. So if you're going to be on the roads tonight, you're not fighting rain, but you are going to be seeing that fog around as temperatures a lot warmer above the surface than they are at ground level. Let's go through all the warnings. Ice storm warnings out for parts of our west and north zone starting at 4 a.m. St. Clair, Macomb County, slightly lower impacts, and that's why the advisory is there. Most of us under a flood watch, widespread flooding expected, and then lakeshore flood advisories when the wind starts to get kicked up and those high lake levels start coming on shore. So breaking it down, we've got 3 major issues we're watching. The flooding is going to be the big one. Major river flooding in at least 3 rivers. One of those could hit record levels, and a lot of those are going to crest on Sunday. Widespread power outages and tree damage from accumulated ice, mostly in the west and north zone. We'll look at the numbers there. And the wind is going to make both of these impacts even worse. So we'll run all this down for you coming up in just a few minutes. Our Local Forecasters app has everything you need to survive the storm, radar, alerts, and a lot more. Go get it for free in your app store by searching WDIV. Guys?
Thanks, Ben. And adding to all of this, new information from the Army Corps of Engineers saying water levels on the Great Lakes started this year higher than last year when it caused all sorts of problems.
That is rough news. People living in parts of the area that are already prone to flooding when we get heavy rains are doing whatever they can now to prepare for this weekend's likelihood of trouble. Paula Tutman shows us what they're doing.
You can see I've staged pumps over here.
There is no guesswork to it. If the forecast says 2 inches of rain or more, the neighbors on Hanover Street in Dearborn Heights know what that means. Certain flooding.
The water level outside will be at about here.
And so today means preparing for the worst. And for Tony, it means sandbagging.
We stage our sandbags. These are my neighbor and I, we share them. So it's really easy access to our front porches, our doors, so we can protect ourselves. I have sandbags on my back door that I don't ever take down.
Okay, so I'm in Dearborn Heights right now. Let's take Dan Murray's yard, for instance. So right now, it looks like just a yard, but when you go up in drone 4, you can actually see what the problem is. Just 2 inches of rain, and it turns Ecorse River right here, which at the moment looks like a creek, into a raging tributary. He says this yard will not be a yard by this time tomorrow.
You got to pick everything up, get it up in the air.
Dan is the first house off the Ecorse River. He's at high ground and can actually remember when his neighbors flooded, but he didn't. But the erosion of the banks, the condition of the drains, the back and forth of water exchanging between drain and tributary, and he is now at ground zero for flooding, which means getting moving now.
Well, it's scary. You know, you got to pick everything up and get ready for it. I know it's coming, you know, so that's what I got to do. That's what you do.
And while Mother Nature and the force of the water is to blame, neighbors say there are mitigators. Nature may have created the river, but man creates the drains. And to contain the rising river, lawmakers could fund remediation that would make flooding a lot less imminent.
And it's frustrating because I just don't feel like we're being represented.
Okay, so let's bring you inside to the nerve center of DTE. This is the System Operations Center. Fascinating to watch. Just a little while ago, there was a power outage or interruption in Pontiac. Watch this guy right here. He actually saw it, dealt with it, and then the power outage went right off the screen. These guys are going to be really, really busy this weekend, fully staffed and then some, just so they can respond to these kinds of emergencies, guys.
So right, Paula, and utility companies taking the same footing on high alert with the winter storm expected to cause major stress on area power lines.
heavy snow and ice are our worst fears because they weigh down power lines, they weigh down tree limbs that come down on power lines. So we're gearing up. Our crews are going to be on standby, ready to respond, but we also want our customers to know, and anybody that lives in the state actually, because it's going to hit most of the state, to be prepared for a potential outage.
And MDOT tells us their employees will be monitoring traffic cameras and more than 100 pumps around the clock for any accidents or flooding.
We have crews that normally monitor our pump houses anyway. The pump houses are what remove the water from the lower freeways, pull the water up into the sewer system so that the road is drivable.
There are a lot of great resources for all of this on our website, clickondetroit.com, including information on what you need to know about flood insurance, the best things you can do to prepare for a power outage, plus a look back at the Great Flood of 2014. You can find it all at clickondetroit.com.
All right, now to breaking news and an alarming new discovery as we follow the toxic ooze investigation along I-696. And now it's led to another property with the potential of more toxic green ooze on Detroit's west side.
Let's get out to consumer investigator Hank Winchester, who has this exclusive update. Hank, how did this new property even get discovered?
And Kimberly, Devin, it's very concerning, very bizarre. The city of Detroit proactive today, knowing that this building was owned by Gary Sayers, and this building is a dump here on the west side. But that name obviously ringing bells because Gary Sayers is also the man that owns that building in Madison Heights where that toxic ooze was discovered. Now here in Detroit, investigators making their way inside from the fire department and the building inspector's department. What they found, several 8x10 concrete pits. In those pits, a substance that appears, at least on visual inspection, to match the substance that was found in Madison Heights. As you can imagine, very alarming, very concerning. That's why Eagle and the EPA notified right away. We had an opportunity to speak with the city just a short time ago. Take a listen.
Yeah, it's similar. We don't know. We're going to leave that up to Eagle to determine exactly what it is, and we're going to work hand in hand with them to address this matter.
Again, on visual inspection, the substance that is found in this building that was dumped appears very similar to the toxic substance in Madison Heights. That's why crews were out here just a short time ago putting notices up along this building, urging people to stay away. We're told fencing will soon go in place. And as that happens, the testing is going to get underway to find out if there is, in fact, a match and a connection to Sayers. We're live here on the west side. Hank Winchester, back to you.
Okay, Hank. Well, just days after the Local 4 defenders exposed some serious concerns surrounding that growing sinkhole on Detroit riverfront, state and national officials meet and also start demanding answers.
Let's bring in Defender Karen Drew, who's been breaking news on this story all week, and we've got the latest now. Karen?
Well, it was 6 weeks ago the Revere dock collapsed, dumping contaminated soil into the river and then later forming that huge sinkhole. Well, if you recall, I exposed the fact the company that owned the property was 2 weeks past due on a remediation plan. Well, now looks like we're getting some action.
What is being done to make sure the contaminated soil with metals like uranium beneath this sinkhole and all around it doesn't continue to seep into the Detroit River?
They know what's going on, huh? Let's face it. And it just costs money to do stuff like that, and they don't want to spend the money.
Why is it the state doesn't? They're always way behind on cleaning up these messes.
Local 4 defenders learning about a high-level meeting taking place with the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, U.S. Coast Guard, the U.S. EPA, the City of Detroit, Eagle, Detroit Bulk Storage, and Revere Dock, LLC. Sources telling me many in the meeting saying, quote, it was completely unacceptable that no response had yet been submitted far past the December due date. Here's the latest. Officials were told a 5-foot skirt barrier around the property was installed to buffer the impact from the Detroit River to stop further erosion. A 20-foot skirt is expected to be installed later this month.
Where the collapse site is.
Greg Ward is watching the river and what officials are doing very closely. He runs his truck ferry business on the riverfront and is worried.
At the Ambassador Bridge, that's the narrow part of the river, so that's the fastest current. And so this site is really affected by the fast current of the river.
Many people worried about that oncoming weather this week and if that's going to have some effect. Well, just found out Revere Dock Company did meet today's deadline in submitting a remediation plan. Still, though, much more to learn exactly on how deep that sinkhole is. I understand more testing will be done later this month. In the meantime, the EPA says the Coast Guard now joining in to monitor the site, and they're going to start taking aerial photos so they can see how much it's growing.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, the city is still trying to get paid.
Right.
You're right. We exposed that $62,000 bill they owe for drainage, and I have done some more digging, and we think we might have some other issues that we'll have to address. So stay tuned. We're on it.
Great point about the weather, and we don't need anything blowing that stuff.
Wind and flooding
Yeah.
coming down the river. Yeah. I hope nothing.
Right, we'll watch that as well.
Yeah.
All right, Karen. We are also getting new insight into a New Year's Eve robbery inside a business in Sterling Heights tonight. Employees of an AT&T store found themselves held at gunpoint by what police say was a couple wearing wigs and wielding AK-47s. Sean Lay live with a look at their ordeal inside that business. Sean.
Ordeal's the key word. Imagine if this happened to you if you just were visiting a cell phone shop. Absolutely terrifying here. 2 employees and a customer being forced into a bathroom. This guy right here has a wig on. He's also carrying an AK-47. This is a crime caught on camera. 3 in the afternoon, New Year's Eve, inside the Sterling Heights AT&T store, 2 employees are with the customer when security video shows the most terrifying moments unfold. The employees and customer are on the floor, their hands zip-tied, and a man carrying an AK-47 forces them into a back room, then puts all 3 into a bathroom. The ruthless robbers, a boyfriend and girlfriend, both 24 years old.
Our 2 defendants come in and they're in disguise, wigs, masks, and they come in with an AK-47 rifle.
The 2 clearly had a plan. The pair took $10,000 worth of merchandise after terrorizing the employees and customer. But cameras also got a glimpse of the car the 2 got away in. Prosecutors say it was registered to Bianca Webb. Police finding the 24-year-old at home in Lincoln Park. Prosecutors tell us they found an unregistered 9mm handgun, 66 grams of cocaine, 80 oxycodone pills, and 103 Adderall pills. Police also caught her boyfriend, Trayvon Perkins. They say he's on parole for another robbery.
You know, our victims are lucky that they're alive right now. And these defendants have been charged with very serious crimes.
A long list of felony crimes indeed, some carrying life in prison. Both the girlfriend and boyfriend being held tonight on $100,000 cash bond. We're live tonight. Sean Lay, Local 4.
Thanks, Sean. Well, what could cause a seemingly healthy girl to become paralyzed in the span of a night?
Doctors in Ohio think they have the answer. We've got that coming up in Good Health. And here's Jamie.
This is a story that will warm your heart. A local Boy Scout troop lost something. The community came together to replace it, and it brought them to tears. Next on Local 4.